Google moves to drop cookies. Privacy concerns have pushed the web giant to change how it tracks us online, explains Matthew Sparks. Google has been planning for years to scrap cookies, the tiny files stored on our computers as we browse the internet that allow advertisers to track us and tailor what they show us. Last week, it announced it is ditching its planned replacement called Federated Learning of Cohorts (FLoC) in favor of a new tool called Topics. Here's what the change means for you and your online privacy. Why do we need any kind of tracking at all? Tracking is less about providing a service for users and more about advertising and profit. Advertisers pay to place their products and services in front of certain people they feel may be potential customers. Tracking via large data collecting companies like Google or Meta allows them to do that. But many people are growing more and more uncomfortable with the extent to which firms track, analyze, and market to them. And governments around the world are increasingly legislating to rein these tech giants. Companies like Google may be partly reacting to changing customer sentiment with these new tools. But the truth is that they are also being forced to act. What's the new plan? The new tool, Topics, does the same thing FLoC was supposed to do: keep our identity and movements hidden from advertisers, but in a slightly different way. Google's Chrome browser will include code that monitors the sites we visit and learns about our interests. It'll store this information locally from one only 3 weeks at a time and categorize us all with tags from a list of 300 interests such as fitness or fashion. When visiting a website, your browser will allow advertisers access to three of these topics chosen at random so they can decide which adverts to show you. Crucially, those three topics are all that the website and the advertiser will be allowed to know about you. They won't get information about your gender or race, for instance. But concerns remain in some quarters. The Topics API only touches the smallest, most minor privacy issues in FLoC, while leaving its core intact, wrote Peter Snyder in an article on the website of the privacy focused browser, Brave. What will it mean for web users and advertisers? Topics will only gather information on Chrome users, although many people who prefer other browsers are likely to use Google's web search, email and calendar, or myriad other services. So the firm can still gather information from those. But there are other options for the privacy conscious, such as Apple's Private Relay, which allows you to browse anonymously and keep data out of advertisers' hands. The changes are likely to make life harder for advertisers, which have grown used to being able to access a wealth of data and closely target adverts. It is in Google's interests to avoid too great an impact on advertisers as far as rules like the EU's General Data Protection Regulation allow it to. After all, Google makes its money from advertising. What happens next? Google says it will officially end support for third party cookies in the middle of 2023. Although this date has been delayed before, at that point, other advertisers will no longer be able to place cookies and track Chrome users. Google says that Chrome will allow users to see their assigned topics, remove any they wish, or to even disable the feature completely. Advertisers, technology giants, and regulators will be closely monitoring developments.